hello, hello, hello. I just love that music. Oh my gosh. I am Veronica Valentino along with my co host, Miss Renee Rand, who is coming to us from Las Vegas. So, welcome back to another episode of PowHER Hour. In this episode, we are going to dive into, understanding menopause, and we are going to welcome an amazing guest, Ms. Susan Maya Love. She is a dynamic healthcare professional. She's a lifelong educator who's, her mission is rooted in healing, teaching, and empowering, especially, women. I know she has other things going on as well. And this episode of Power Hour is more than a podcast. It's a powerful conversation that's going to speak to purpose, the passion, women's health, and the impact of serving others. So our guest today, uh, Ms. Love, she has 27 years as an elementary school teacher in Philadelphia, and she's a dedicated career as a nurse practitioner. And Ms. Love has devoted her life to nurturing both minds, bodies, and, souls. Her experience uniquely positions her to speak on the full spectrum of women's wellness, including one of the most important and often under discussed transitions in a woman's life, and that's menopause. She's
Absolutely.
also, yes, really, you know what? And she's the author of an inspiring children's book, Ms. Love's Mystical Island Adventure. And she also shares how storytelling can build, there it is right there. Thank you for sharing that.
Awesome.
And it can build confidence and emotional resilience from childhood through adulthood. And I'll tell you what, that really opens my mind, because I was reading into that book and, while I was doing research, so this conversation is for women entering midlife, those already navigating it, and anyone who wants to feel real compassion and insight into thriving, not just surviving during menopause and beyond. This is real talk, it's real health, and it's real empowerment. So, my co host, Miss Renee, I know I'm chatting along. If you want to say a few words there.
Well, I just want to say we're so happy to have you with us today, Susan, and so excited to have everything that you're going to be able to share with our ladies today. So, I just want to open it up to you and let you have the floor, and then we have questions already pouring in for later on. So, why don't you go ahead and get us started today?
Awesome.
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. And I just wanted to start off by talking about the history behind women, okay, and where this all began. So, since the beginning of time, we have been pretty much demoralized as women. That's just the teaching that's been going on back from the time that I was in college when we were learning and reading a woman is a man gone wonky. That's been text out there for decades. So basically, what women have been taught is that we're not as smart as men, we're not as capable, and we're also physically not as superior as men. This goes back to women not being allowed in medical school for decades, for too long. Because, there was a reason for that. And that's because men in the medical school were making fun of the woman's body. So we have been a subject of ridicule since the beginning of time, and we still are. So that is all very unhealthy teaching because men go through menopause too. There are plenty of jokes out there about the male body as well. I'll never forget Professor Marion K. Hart when I was studying with her. She passed away this past May. She lived to be 98 years old.
Wow.
And it was always such a joy in classes with her because she always was making fun of the male sperm and the way it looked. She was hilarious. But since the beginning of time, it's always been negativity towards women. Okay. And even though we have somewhat become liberated, that's not even true because they didn't raise the woman's salary, they lowered the man's to bring this balance. So in actuality, we still are fighting for that equality, emotionally and physically. But the good news is my message today in talking about menopause is there's a reason why there is the word me in menopause, but there's also the word men in menopause. Okay,
Yeah.
now flip that around. Flip that around. My healthy teaching when I talk to women who are very afraid in entering menopause, flip that around. It's a pause from men. Not menopause, flip it around, pause from men. And I'm not teaching them to hate men. I'm not teaching them that. I'm teaching them to pause from the opposite sex and focus on you. Focus on your body and focus on how it's working and embrace it. Find ways to celebrate your change. Now, that sounds preposterous because women go through so many negative things. And I just want to take the time to share some working ways for women out there. First of all, headaches and migraines are a severe issue with menopause. Align that with anxiety and depression. But there's certainly help out there. This is the spider head massager. Okay?
Ooh.
Ladies, ladies, do not take medication. I don't want you getting hooked on painkillers for your headaches. This head massager, and you can Google images for head massagers, wonderfully priced and works so well. Not only is it reducing the headaches, but you're sleeping well at night. And for all us ladies out there who are concerned about aging, the muscle relaxation throughout the whole head reduces the lines on your forehead within days. So this head spider massager, fabulous for the onset of menopause and even just for everyday life, even if you are not in the onset of menopause. 2, the muscles change in the body going through menopause. So you want to invest in, highly recommend this baby for your back and neck. Oh,
Looks like a little frog.
10 minutes a day. Oh, this baby, look at this. He has little hands.
Love it.
He got little hands and he's got thumbs, girls. Okay. So we're going to take
that.
Here's my teaching. Do you understand? We're taking a pause from men and we are going to pause from men and use something that will work better than men. Thank you. Okay. This is going to give you incredible relief from pain, anxiety just throughout the day. Okay. I'm not a man hater. I'm just saying you want to invest in something that's going to give you that attention right when you need it, ladies. And there it is. Okay. So also another amazing product for women. Okay. This is a weighted pillow. Weighted pillows are very popular on the market now, very reasonably priced. I recommend the 5 to 9 pounder. Sleeping at night, going through menopause, just on your chest, just cuddling it almost like a baby. You will feel what happens with this material and the weight. It sends the toxins in your body reduce and it causes the brain waves to slow down. Okay. So this is also that these are 3 amazing products for women when you're going through changes. I'm holding in my hand Calm Carry. Calm Carry. This is a little device. You can place it in the palm of your hand. When you turn it on, it releases pulsation through your hand. That pulsation sends a message to the brain to slow down, release toxins, breathe deeper, breathe slower. In the left hand, ladies, anxiety, which is what a lot of women are going to experience going through menopause. In the right hand, you want to place it in the palm of your right hand if you're having trouble focusing in your life. 10 minutes before you go to bed, 10 minutes when you wake up, carrying it through you without the day. Anywhere. Calm Carry is an amazing tool out there for women when you're going through menopause. I'm seeing so many women in their 50s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. I'll look down on a bus. I'll look down as I'm walking down. I see women carrying Calm Carry. Nothing to be ashamed of. It's highly recommended. And again, staying away from that medication. Also, Weightless Mind is an amazing website for women going through menopause. Gets you deep into meditation, which I highly recommend when you're going through changes. Okay? The ambiance of it is just absolutely beautiful. But I think the biggest takeaway here is it's okay with this change that we're going through. This is nothing to be ashamed of. Cast down the jokes because it isn't funny. And anyone who's doing that in your presence doesn't love you. And you need to surround yourself with people who are helping you embrace this change. This is a natural part of life. Okay? And what you're going to do is I teach women grow from this. How do you do that? Find little projects that inspire you in your life. Okay, when my husband passed away and I'm going through changes, I turned this whole home around to make it something I can connect with. Okay, you can't control these changes going on in your body. So stop worrying about it. Stop letting people, no, she's going through menopause. It must be menopause. No, it must be who she is. Thank you. This has nothing to do with the inner love you carry as a woman. It has nothing to do with your accomplishments. And you're not letting menopause take everything that you've worked for and become away from you, from the ignorance out there about these changes. You're still beautiful. You're still powerful. You're still capable. And the key here is that you become more capable as you embark on these changes, because you become stronger. You find ways of doing things with on your own. You've raised your children. You've been a wife. You've been a slave through all of that. Now it's just time for you. This pause from men, sorry, ladies, I'm flipping it around, is a chance for you to just be the full woman that you are. Take a look at these products that I'm talking about. I've been working with women, and they have so much peace when they come home. It's something for them to come home to and work with. But again, I can't emphasize enough, don't let doctors talk you into medication. Hot flashes. I just need to address hot flashes. They are debilitating at times. They come on just, my recommendation, again, no medication. Please consider investing in a bamboo mattress topper. They're highly popular and highly recommended for women. They actually cool the body temperature. The gel in the bamboo regulates it actually regulates the temperature in the body. So when you're starting to get hot, the gel it feels the heat, and the gel will bring the temperature back down. And not to mention, adds incredible comfort to your sleep. So bamboo toppers are highly recommended for women. Funny thing is, men report loving them too. So let's not forget, men are going through this too. They're going through it in almost the same way in levels that we are. They are having mood swings. They're going through depression. They're having anxiety. They're experiencing weight gain. They're having relationship insecurities. So the only reason why that's not so heavily talked about is because of the way we've been taught and the way we're still being taught, the way women are still being mocked and put down and ridiculed. It's all still happening in our society. So I'm grateful for this podcast to open up the ill teaching that's still out there. And, I just want women to, when they feel overwhelmed and weighted down by this topic, no, don't do that. Don't do this. Do this. Okay? In your mind and in your power and your source and your energy, because you have resources out here. You have ways to deal with this, and you want to find ways to make your life enjoyable. Okay, to get that love back. And remember, your mental attitude toward this, I've got this, I can do this, is going to change the chemistry in your brain and your body. Okay, your mental attitude affects what's going on the inside. Oh, menopause, it's going to be terrible. This is going to be terrible. And when you keep saying that to yourself, all those toxins in your body start to build up. Okay, that's when depression sets in. So make a daily list of all the things you're doing, those daily walks, those exercising, all that exercising, connecting with positive people, all of these things that we can do for ourselves. This is the inevitable. It's going to happen. Okay, for some women, it's a breeze. I talk to women who 70 years old, never had a hot flash. She's always been cold. I talk to women who breezed through menopause. I talk to women who were suicidal for 5 years through menopause. And a lot of it had to do with their mental outlook on it. It also had to do with the husbands and the family surrounding them who brought them down. So we have to keep that in mind, surrounding yourself with that positive energy. So that's what I wanted to start off with. Do your best to stay away from the negative teaching. And always keep looking for, how do I help me? Pause from men, my time, ladies. How am I helping me? So that's what I want to start off with.
Great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Great job.
Love it. Yeah, people are asking us, they're coming in. We need a full list of what she's recommending.
Okay, I will send Veronica a full list of what I'm recommending. But just off the top of your head, ladies, get some products that make you feel better. Start with the head spider, please.
What is that called again?
It's the head spider massager.
Head spider.
Yeah, I
Pet
love
cider.
it. Oh my gosh. And you know what's great? It doesn't rub your head. The major health benefits, it helps grow your hair because it stimulates the follicles. It helps reduce lines on your face, but it brings down that anxiety. It brings down all of that tension. Oh my God. I just know how much it's been doing for me since my husband passed away because it's helping me to
Wow.
handle depression and anxiety. And I'm not one to push products,
Mm.
and I certainly don't push medication. I'm not the most popular nurse in the country because I am very much against the kickbacks doctors are getting from pushing drugs. I'm very much opposed to it. You're definitely talking to someone who's definitely into the holistic approach to taking
Yeah.
care of yourself.
Yeah.
So, and that's not the most popular nurse out there. So, but looking for ways that make you feel better. Think about you. I'm sitting here with a candle. Okay. It's the smell of it, the scent of it. It just keeps me calm. This is another way. The incenses in your home, the smells in your home, the ambiance in your home, all of those little things. But think about you first. Pause from men and think
Mm.
about you first. And these products that I've offered you will make a difference, but it will only make a difference if you shut down someone who's telling you it won't work and embrace it
Yeah.
and work it into your life. You can't just do it on a Monday for 10 minutes and walk away and get caught up in other things. You have to come into practices. You have to come into that routine, but a healthy routine. You want to go swim once a week? Do it once a week. Cross it off on your calendar. You know,
Yeah.
I have in my kitchen, I should have brought it over here. I have a light up agenda board. I love it. It was advertised for children. It's like, you can't buy this for 10-year-olds. I bought it. I love it. It glows up. And each week I have my list over there. And when I'm done, I cross it off. But I love it. I love the light and the color. It draws me to it. I stay focused on that self-care. You're going to feel like your life is under control. That's the biggest thing women tell me. I don't have any control in my life. I'm spiraling out of control. No, you cannot let these changes make you feel like that. These changes are going to give you the open mind and the inspiration to say, hey, I'm going to regulate this in my life. And that's the key. Regulation. Regulate
Mhm.
yourself with a spider massager. Regulate yourself with things that make you feel better on a consistent basis. Anyone who's trying to get away with this, you need to distance yourself from. I'm very sorry. Friends, family, whatever the case may be. A husband, I'm sorry, here's my me space and here's my time in my house. You need to work with me and you need to accept this. Be adamant about it. You don't have to be nasty. You don't have to curse them out. You don't have to give them some kind of ultimatum. No, this is me. This is my health. This is my care. And this is what I need. If you're my spouse, you care about me, you will let me have what I need. I'm not asking you to buy me a car. I'm asking you to give me this me time in my day for me. Okay? So,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Well,
Renee,
what
you
we
want to?
focus on expands. Yeah, what we focus on expands. So you're right on there, Susan. You really are. And what we put around us is what affects us every day because we want to stay around people that are positive and people that are vibing the same way we are and that are interested in health and wellness. And we'll take the time to do those things that you just spoke about because you're right. You can't do it once, put it away, and expect that it made a difference in your life. So, you describe your mission as rooted in healing and empowering. What does empowered aging mean to you personally?
Well, first of all, empowering aging means to me, and it's just me personally, so you're asking me. I see it as a very beautiful thing. I see it as the next level of a woman's beauty because the older we get, the wiser we get. And
Absolutely.
when that wisdom shows in your face, have you ever looked at a woman who's maybe in her 60s and 70s and say to yourself, look at that beautiful wisdom. I just see it in her eyes, structure, and how she carries herself. This woman has lived. And you're just drawn to her energy because she looks so wise, and that wisdom brings it's really beautiful to see a wise woman. Wise women carry themselves differently. And
So
so,
true.
yeah, it is. And so the older we get, I really feel internally, the wiser we get, the more beautiful we become, the softer we become, the more understanding we become, the less judgmental we become. And we also, the older we're getting through this aging and this empowerment, we really see what matters in this life.
Yeah.
I'd rather be 60 than 30 these days. I'm very sorry. Because what I thought I knew when I was 30, I'll be 60 in a couple of years. I'll be 57 this spring. What I thought about this before I came on the show. Do I want to be 30 today, or do I want to be right where I'm at? I want to be right where I'm at. What I know, what I've come to understand, and it's all happened through this aging process. So we can't stop aging. Don't let aging define you. You're going to grow with your aging. You're going to find ways to grow from it. You're going to find all these things you can do to help you. And it's going to take you to another level. I didn't think my husband's death would take me anywhere. I was depressed, and then I'm older. Who will date me? I'm past 55. That was the mentality that I had. Wait a minute, stop that. First of all, do you know how many young men out there love to date older women? Oh my gosh, there's a whole club.
Amen.
There are dating sites out there for women my age. This men in their late 20s want to take me out on a date. It's ridiculous, okay? But you can't get into that frame of mind. And I didn't think I could grow from the tragedy. Some women view menopause as a tragedy. What can I do to grow? I started at home, reorganizing my home, and then just starting all these little steps. I'm by myself now. So what do? I put safety measures in my home. I made sure the smoke detectors were working in my home. I put safety aids in my bathroom. I made sure my home is more secure. I'm carrying more personal alarm systems for myself. There's actually one out there for women now that you can use. It just touches and sets off an alarm if you don't feel safe. All of these things, so many changes for growth came after he died. They didn't happen right away. I was depressed. When I met Veronica, I just sat there and cried. That's how I met you. And she reached out to me and came over to comfort me. And I wouldn't be here if Veronica hadn't been the sensitive, caring person she is. So I'm here because of Veronica, and I'm so grateful for you. But my point is that you have to look for ways to grow. And can't let people tell you, oh, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do. There's always something you can do to help yourself. There's always something. This chair behind me that you see, it's so comfortable I can't get out of it sometimes. And to the right now, I'm reading a book about a woman who has 7 husbands. And as I'm reading his life and everything she went through, from domestic abuse to emotional abuse, it's making me see how much better my life is. But it's also showing me all the tools that she used to navigate through her tragedy. So another thing we do through menopause, or if you're feeling upset, get yourself a comfy chair and get yourself on a book that was written by a female who will help you navigate. Oh my goodness, there's endless. This is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Get that book, ladies. If you feel like you're stuck in your menopause right now and you need a pause from men, go sit down with that book, okay? And find something that's going to let you get into your mind and someone you can appreciate, which is you the most. How is this author going to help and inspire me? So literature, it's all where it's out. And search your soul. Find something that if humor is going to help you, then find something humorous. But get yourself that comfy right there and get those feet up. Don't sit there all the time. No, you're taking 10 minutes a day for your blood pressure to come down and get your mind in a place where you're just thinking and reading about what you want to do, something that's helping you. Okay, so that comfy chair is a must. Okay, that's something you all want to do. Okay, we have to bring ourselves to a place of peace.
You know, I want to make a comment. There's one thing that I always said. I never wanted to look and feel like our grandmothers back in the day with the old house coats, the rolled down stockings, the big black galosh shoes. I was just like, I'm noticing so many more women who are in their 60s and 70s, and some of them even into their 80s. They're thriving. They're looking amazing. They're not living like they're old and haggard. They're doing things to celebrate their lives. And I notice that there's something like, what, I just don't care. I don't care in a sense of I'm going to live my life and do what I want to do, because what do I have to lose? And so many are single, and they're just living their lives. I see these single groups of traveling with women, and it really amazes me, because what, again, I did not want to be one of those little old grannies. I didn't want the gray hair. I didn't want to look like with a cane or a walker, and I'm going
We're
to keep
not going to be
thriving as much.
grannies,
No,
Veronica.
I know. It's so
That is
funny.
not in our
What?
profile at all.
No.
I'm just
I have
waiting
a
for it to
question.
get warm enough so I can get back in the pool.
I hear
I
you.
normally
So,
I swim 100 laps a day, Susan, in the summer when my pool's warm enough. And that's my favorite kind of exercise. I just turned 71. So
yeah,
I believe that every woman deserves to stay as young and healthy as possible for as long as possible. And
yeah,
in order to do that, you have to pay attention to your health and your
exactly.
nutrition and feeding the brain and the soul.
And here's the teaching that comes with what both of you are talking about. Old age for women, this is the healthy teaching, is a condition. It's a condition, ladies. As long as you can walk and talk and do the things you want to do, you're able to do it. You're not old. You're
Yeah,
old. You can't hear. You can't see. You can't get out of bed. You have these debilitating illnesses. That's when you're old.
yeah,
Old age, the healthy teaching, the takeaway that I'm bringing to the table. Old age is a condition. It's not a number.
yep,
So, and if you're feeling young at heart and you have that physical capability and you're hip with what's going on and you're enjoying yourself, you're still young. You can be
yep,
80 going on 40. You can be 40 going on 90. It's
Yeah.
your
mhm,
outlook. Because we have people, I've been dealing with people in their 30s who are so sick they can't walk. They're sicker than 90-year-old people. They're old.
yeah,
As an old person, when you can't walk, you can't talk, you're paralyzed. These are all ailments and conditions of an old person. But you can be
hmm,
out there running, out there swimming, you're doing it, you're feeling it, your skin is healthy. Guess
Yeah.
what? You're young.
yep,
Age is a condition. Get away from the number and get away from the.
Absolutely.
You
yeah.
can
Don't
buy.
let that menopause stop you. All right, we have a question in from Marla. Marla says, "How did teaching children shape the way you now care for women in midlife?"
How to teaching children shape the way I teach women in midlife. Well, today's children actually have been very helpful in the way I'm teaching women in midlife today. Today's children are so obnoxious and they're so adamant and they're so determined not to let anything get in their way. I want to do it, I'm doing it. They're brazen. So
Mm,
I'm taking that energy from the children and thinking, you know what? This is what the middle aged woman needs. She needs to be brazen. She needs to be outspoken. She needs her self confidence. Now, don't get me wrong. I do have to regulate some of that obnoxious behavior in the classroom. Don't get me wrong. But overall, I'm taking that attitude of I am me and there's nothing you can do about it, and transforming that and taking that to a mid aged woman to say, what were you like as a little girl? How did you see yourself? Does that have anything to do with how you see yourself now? Because these little girls in my classroom now, when they're mid aged, no one's telling them how to cope with menopause. It's not like it was when I
no,
was in school. And it's not like what I was when I was in school. It was a taboo. It wasn't even talked about. And if it was, we were
right,
not fun of. But, the way I'm seeing the young girls today, they're inspiring to me. Because They're not letting anything stop them. And they were they're born with knowing this is going to happen, so there's nothing wrong with it.
Right, right.
So it's really helping me, approach mid-aged women now with look to this younger generation brazen approach.
Yep.
Identify on all levels because I don't. But if anyone's going to tell you you're getting something done or you can't stop me, it's a 10-year-old today.
Yep.
For
I hear
sure.
you.
I have a question that just popped up, Veronica.
Uh-huh.
This is from somebody that's having challenges with her physicians and the people that she's been working with. It says, what red flags should women watch out for when their provider isn't taking their concerns seriously?
Okay, the first thing you need to do is get another flipping provider because no provider should be talking to you like that. And I'm going to recommend, and I know it's not a problem, I recommend Dr. Janine Devlin, Devlin, is an amazing provider for women's health care. And she will not be ignoring you. She will sit there and take the time to talk to you. And if Dr. Devlin is not available to you, she will give you a referral of women here in the Northeast part of Philadelphia who will take care of you. Any physician not listening to you, that is not what they require to do. That is malpractice, and they should not be practicing. So if you need to find yourself a better provider, I'm sure Veronica or the host could have you get in touch with me, and I will help you find a provider who will listen to you. But that provider is not someone you want to continue with, and you have a right to terminate that doctor-patient relationship immediately.
Yeah, I felt
Thank
that
you.
with one of my
Thank you.
providers, and I was like, you know what? I did not like the way her bedside manners were not the greatest. I prefer all female doctors when I need to go to one, but and it's just my preference. I don't feel like just I prefer the female providers. But even down to a GYN exam was very, very, where some can be very painful and whatnot, and it shouldn't be like that. Especially this just horrible bedside manners, and never went back. And
Right.
it's horrible when your doctor retires.
This is what I recommend to women. First of all, when you go to a doctor and you select a doctor, please, please take the time to get online and read those reviews. People will be very upfront with you. That's why those reviews.
Absolutely.
Read those reviews before you even step foot in that doctor's office. So that's going to help you select a physician that's right for you. And on your first appointment, if it's not comfortable, then by all means, seek another physician. Okay?
Yeah.
Ladies out there, don't feel intimidated, embarrassed, humiliated, because guess what? Men get rectal exams. And ooh, taboo. Let's not talk about that. Yes, they do, girls. And you know what? It's uncomfortable for them too. And they get their testes squeezed too. Okay? So this is not just about women. All right? They go in there and they're not looking forward to it either. Trust me. Right?
And in
I
your opinion, Susan, in your opinion, what should every woman over 40 be tracking or monitoring about her health? What's most important, do you feel like?
Yeah, there are a lot of things that are most important. Your emotional health. Ladies over 40s, get yourself a home device that will test your blood sugar on a regular basis. Type 2 diabetes is very common to set in at that age. So you definitely want to be tracking that blood sugar level in your body. You definitely want to be getting blood work every 6 months to a year, checking that cholesterol, checking those blood sugars. But if you can get a home device to check your blood sugar daily, even if you haven't been diagnosed with diabetes, it can kick in at any time. The body changes, frequently, especially going through menopause. So I definitely recommend you get those blood sugars checked daily. Even there's home device cups where you can be checking your blood pressure daily too. So between checking the blood pressure and checking that blood sugar, watching that diet, staying away from those carbs, okay, staying away from the high fats, staying away from the high salts, get that water intake, okay? And every now and then you can treat yourself. But you definitely want to keep on 40 and up. Watch that blood sugar.
Thank you.
I have a question from Donna. Menopause is something every woman experiences, yet many still feel unprepared. Why do you think it remains under discussed?
Well, first of all, because society, to be honest with you, and I'm just being point blank honest with you, society wants women ignorant about it. Keeping you ignorant keeps you unprepared. And when you're unprepared, let's face it, you're just not as good as a man. Anything we can do to suppress a woman is what society will do. There's also a lot of ill teaching about it. Negativity, it's something only women go through, So to answer the question, it's to keep you ignorant. It's to keep you, and keeping you ignorant is what, as a whole, this country likes to do. This country, because it is dominated and ruled by men for so long, is why. It's to keep you ignorant, ladies. And you know what? We don't want to do that. We want to keep talking about it. Keep doing your own research about it, because there's a slew of information out there where you can get yourself educated. Okay? So the less you know, ladies, is exactly where a man wants you in general, in terms of society. I'm looking at society, not your husband, because he may love the fact that you know more than he does. Okay? Not every man out there is a chauvinistic pig. I am not a man hater. I was married to a man, loved him for 14 years. But you're looking at society as a whole. So we don't want to educate women because we don't want them to become too empowered. God forbid if a woman becomes president. Ooh.
All right. Well, I have another question just came in from Terry, okay? It says, when should a woman consider hormone therapy, and what questions should she ask her provider?
Okay. Hormonal therapy, in my professional opinion, I do not recommend it, because I do not recommend anything unnatural to the body. The only time in which you want to consider hormonal therapy is that if in some way is helping a debilitating disease in your body. Other than that, stay away from injecting hormones. Let the body handle it on its own. Don't let anybody talk you into hormone therapy unless it's absolutely going to save your life. If it is not going to save your life, stay away from it. Let the body do what it has to do. At the end of the day, once you're going into your 60s and 70s, those hormones will be depleted anyway. There are a lot of ways to deal with these hormonal imbalances in your body rather than hormonal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my recommendation is to not do it unless it's life-threatening and you must.
Veronica, do you have any other questions popping up? Yeah.
I don't. I'm just letting informed women are powerful women. And you know what? This hour has been all about PowHER Hour and talking about women and menopause. And with that being said, Susan, we are so grateful that you joined us here this evening. And I'm going to have my co-host, Miss Renee, talk about our next week's topic. Make sure you get that list to me, because I have a lot of women asking. And with that being said, Miss Renee, go ahead. You can tell them about next week's topic.
Well, we're really excited. We're going to be talking about sex and menopause next week. And our special guest is you. So if you have any questions ahead of time that you want us to answer or want us to answer on our show, please let us know. Please make sure you participate, join. All of our groups are exciting. Scan our QR code and come join us in all the things that we're benefiting. Our whole idea is to make sure that you are learning the things that you need for you to be the person you want to be. And let's all age wonderfully fabulous together. And we're excited about that. And Veronica, I can hardly wait for next week. Today was a blast.
It was. I love it. Man, we're so excited to have Miss Susan with us. And you know what? It is. It's just about real health, real women empowerment, and sharing those thoughts and those ideas. And I love the fact that women are getting together and having me days and spa days. And, hey, let's just go out. go out for a glass of wine and a bite to eat. I love the fact that women are getting together, and just doing that. So with that being said, don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss an empowering episode of the Power Hour. Again, we are going to be here often. We're coming to you this week. We're going to be just jumping on here a quick spot and say, hey, how you doing? And see what kind of crazy things we can talk about. And with that all being said, once again, want to thank you for being here this evening. Love to have you here, Miss Susan. My co-host, Miss Renee Rand. I am Veronica Valentino, and that concludes our Power Hour for this evening. Thank you so much.
Bye, everybody. Have a great week.